Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of me drawing adult Isha, and we're back with the smaller one of my 2 sketchbooks, and we're gonna keep working on this one today. I'm gonna be able to finish it, thank God. So I guess pull up your own art and just vibe and chill with me today while I finish up this artwork. So, the thing about it is that her face in the sketch looked so good to me. But then when I came to actually having to put down the colors and color over it, it started to look bad because I still haven't gotten into the way people can see their lines every single time when they paint over something. And you could see there that I actually have a little bit of her chin that's a little bit too long. But the face was so cute when I originally drew it that I tried to not touch that part. Like this whole art caused me so many problems. I just never had a problem seeing ink. And the thing is when I started my art journey a long time ago, I was originally just a pen and paper girly. Sometimes I used charcoal, maybe sometimes colored pencils, the watercolor pencils, but I never actually put water on them except one time. So I actually never touched mediums because I just really liked the pencil. And then when I moved to digital art, I just never learned the process of doing this. Because when it comes to colored pencils, and they're just easier to work with, they blend, I don't know. They were just way easier for me. Because I've been also, I wanted to tell you guys something. Okay. So I have this blue-gray problem where I'm looking for a specific shade of blue-gray. And I've come to the conclusion that the only way I'm going to get that in acrylic marker is if I make it myself. So I went to Blick Materials thinking that they'd be able to help me. But they just basically told me you're going to have to make it yourself. And then they gave me all of this material and I got afraid. I was like, oh my goodness, this is too many things. They gave me this gigantic ink thing, not ink, this gigantic acrylic thing that held paint in it, and then they gave me another one, and then they gave me a marker, and then they gave me this other, and I was like, oh, listen, oh boy. This is a crazy, crazy thing for me to just, listen, I have ADHD, and I will do some shit, but some shit that I will not do is take on a sudden project that seems like it is a lot of work on a random Saturday morning. I am just not that person. There's a lot of things I'm willing to do, but start a project of learning how to mix paint in the morning? I'm not doing that. You should have seen me, when she gave me all of these items, I was like, you know what? I think that I am just gonna see if I can find something else first, and then maybe see if I can come back later and try that, because I feel like this is a lot for me right now. It's just, there's a lot here, and I don't know anything about any of this. And of course, she was super nice, and she just was like, okay, well, just let me know. And then I decided, you know what I could do? I could, get some pastels, and then maybe mix the pastels one over the other, and see if, that could hold me over. So, I feel like if I made it opaque enough, wouldn't really be able to tell that it's a different medium, right? I feel like you wouldn't be able to tell. But I don't know, so I did buy 2 pastels. I bought one in a light gray and one in a bluish, grayish, bluish, I don't know. I bought 2 of them, and I just went on my merry way, and I went home, and I haven't tried them yet because I would have to redraw the character again. And maybe I'll do it in my tall sketchbook. We'll see. But I wanted to tell you guys something. Oh my god. I know, this is just me yapping with you, we're friends, because I feel like this is the only way I can talk about the bullshit that nobody wants to hear me talk about. So, I saw this ad on Instagram, and it looked so interesting to me. So it is about a environmentally friendly sketchbook. where it doesn't use trees, it uses stone. And it's like a, I don't remember the type of stone it's made out of, but it's made out of stone dust. And they said that it's bleed proof and that you can draw on it. And the leather that it comes in is vegan leather. So I'm thinking once a week, I'm going to do some art in that sketchbook so that people who are interested in buying it or interested in knowing what are the dynamics of that sketchbook will know. And I should have it by the 19th. So look out for that video next week. I'm thinking about drawing my character Whoppy because the first thing I'm going to test is alcohol markers, because there is so many books that say, this sketchbook doesn't bleed at all, babe. And then I get it. And then I put alcohol markers on it. And it does. I think they need to stop saying anti-bleed and say something else and say, yeah, you can put paint on it, because that's what they mean. They mean you can put paint on it and it won't bleed. Like you could put gouache or watercolor on it and it won't do anything. But when they say anti-bleed, everybody in their mind who does art goes, oh, alcohol markers. And it's never alcohol markers. I bought this other one from Nerdforge, and it has so many pages, and I just don't use it that often. It's nice and thick. It's where I test a lot of my swatches and stuff, but it's not anti-bleed, even though it said when I purchased it that you could use alcohol markers on it. Just because, like, oh my god, it's so misleading when you say, yeah, you can use alcohol markers on it. Like, do you mean I can just use alcohol markers on it? Not that they're actually going to bleed through? Or can I use alcohol markers on it and they bleed through? Like, what is your... It's not making sense. I feel like it's redundant to say that, but also... Oh my goodness. Okay, so since you guys are all here and watching this also, I know that I made Isha's skin tone darker because I feel like she's so much darker than Jinx. I feel like she's tan, and I feel like some people are going to disagree with me. Like, I'm not saying she's a black girl. I'm saying she's like, she kind of feels a little bit Latino girl to me, and maybe that's just me projecting onto her. But I did manage to, get some of the stuff right. I definitely think my favorite part was doing her eyes. I really love eyes, but I feel like because of how I originally drew it, I started making mistakes because I didn't actually know, like, how to see through. Like, you can see right there that I actually made a mistake on her one eye as I was, like, coloring, and then I had to go back and fix it. And you know what? This is the thing I don't understand. Like, when people say, like, oh my god, digital and whatever it is, you can erase. Like, you can just paint over. You can just paint over, like, a million times. You can, like, do it a bunch. Like, you can do it as many times as you want. I think people forget that just because it's permanent doesn't mean anything. It literally means nothing to me. I do both. Like, my only problem is I don't have the skills to see through paint. Because I'm just learning all those for the first time, because I never needed any of these materials. And by the time I was drawing, I skipped from just drawing pencil and paper and pen to, like, I was digitally coloring my art in the aughts. Like, I stole Photoshop from, what's it called? I don't remember the name of the download thing. Or maybe did I torrent it? I don't know. But, I got it, and then I was using it for a long time without really knowing how to use it, because I didn't know how to do anything on Adobe. Like, everything that I learned on Adobe, I learned because someone actually told me, like, offhanded. Like, I remember when I learned how to do batches. Like, I have a friend named Paul who's much older than me, and he was like, I told him that I was doing this project where I was like, I used to make icons for roleplay. I know, it's cringe. No. I was making icons of like people for roleplay for like these roleplay journals, and I would like watch movies and make icons, and then I would edit all the images, and I was editing them one by one, and I would have like 400 images. So what he said to do was, he said, why don't you just crop them all, just crop all 400 of them and do a batch? And I was like, what is a batch? And then he like walked me through how it worked. And I thought it was a godsend. I made so many icon batches for that. And I don't even know if some of them are still up. They might be. I don't think they are though. But I had that for a long time. That was like my favorite thing to do. Because I used to watch a lot of like indie films. And those films had a lot of actresses and actors that looked different. And that's what I would want, is like, I would want PBs, which is like a play-by. That's the term. I would want a play-by that didn't look like all the typical people. So of course I would have to go find my own. And I remember I was like watching all these old movies, like, oh my God, from the 90s. Like, I remember I bought a DVD because I liked the girl that was in the picture, and I watched it so that I could get an icon batch made for her so that I could roleplay in Harry Potter roleplay. And I know. I know. There's so much to that Harry Potter roleplay shit. It is wacky. And if you guys ever want to hear about my cringe roleplay nonsense, I will tell you. I have so many stories of just like, oh my God, just nonsense, complete stupid nonsense happening all the time. And I'm also right now finally getting there with this Isha thing. It's starting to look like what I imagined her to look like, but like I have a problem with my art. I think long necks look so good because I think, you know what it is? When I was a young kid, when I used to draw, and when I finally got away from Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, I used to draw Sailor Moon in those crazy proportions. Where, you know, long necks, long arms, long torsos. Like, they were just long characters. And I just really love that look, along with, like, Disney princesses, where oh my God, they love to make the long necks. It's so elegant. And I do that here. All my characters have giraffe necks. And then I'm like, oh my God, it looks so good. And then when I get to the later stages of my art, I realize that I've made a mistake and I can't go back now because I did this, and I realized that I just have an affinity for long necks, y'all. You're just gonna have to love that. All right, so let's talk about my light novel a little bit, since it's really the main character of my channel right now. So, in my light novel, I am closer to finishing the outlines of all of the stories. I am at the 4th story. I already finished the 5th one because the 5th story is actually the first story, but it's the story of Actea and Galadriel, and I'm still like I haven't completely finished it, but I'm getting near the end, I guess. I'm still trying to brainstorm things that I like and things that I don't like, because this is the problem with writing the light novel, is that the light novel is a test to see who likes what, and if they like my characters, and if they do like my characters, which character was the most popular characters. Because if I can figure that out, that will be the pairing that I do the story on. Because the story that I actually want to write is, I want to write like Kite's story, and I think she's the 3rd character. I would love to write her story, but the thing is I wanted to write a story independent of all of those stories, so or something that's like a side quest. So if there was a side quest done, then I can consider that both canon and not canon at the same time, so you guys can get a taste of all the characters without me spoiling any of the main plot of what all their stories are supposed to be. Because in reality, I could write stories about literally every single one of those characters. Like, well, not those characters, but those character pairings. So there's just a lot of moving parts that go into that, and I would really also love to get back to my science fiction novel. I've lost the plot with that. I've lost it. I didn't mean to, but it happened. So, and I'm also really close to finishing this art up, closer than I thought I would be. So I don't really like how Isha's her lips look. It looked better when I did the little slashes and just kind of messed with it. But adding the dark brown, it was clearly a mistake, like even just like retro looking over this. So I've also decided that if I'm going to do these draw with me's, I'm probably going to have to do, I would love to do like drawing from beginning to end. But I also think that that's going to be hard because I really wish I had like a cool place that I could show you guys. Like I could brighten this up or just make it look nicer, I guess. And I haven't really gotten feedback on like what people think of the 80s VHS look, because it's actually a lot of work. So maybe I'll just keep it to this. Maybe I'll just color grade it a little bit and then just move on over to whatever I have to do. Because I'm already almost finished now with this. But oh, you know what? Before I go, I did want to talk also about this cool little thing I'm going to do. So some people have said that they're interested in my world, and I am going to make a mythos video about my world so you guys can like see it. But I'm going to get a professional voice actor to voice over it. I'm not going to tell you who, but like he said that he might do it. So I'm already messaged him, see if he would do it for me. So we'll see what he says. I'm still waiting to hear back. He got hold of me last night. But I'm just really excited about it now. If you guys want to support my channel, which would be so lovely, you guys could subscribe. And if you want to, and if you'd love to give a little bit of more help to my channel, I do have a Patreon where I post full res of my artwork. I post blogs, I post stuff about my light novel. In general, I just post things there quite frequently, and if that's interesting to you, you can go check that out over there. I'll leave a link in the description below. I also am on VGen, and I'm desperately trying to get verified on there. I do line art flats for $12, and I do a world building critique if you'd like me to look over something for $7. And I think that's pretty much it. Please feel free to follow me. If you don't know what to comment, comment with a bluebird, I guess. Because I'm just finishing up my drawing by doing just random things, but I don't have much else to say, so I hope that this little presentation is good for you, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for subscribing or hanging out with me. And get ready to see that really cool sketchbook next week, because I am excited to show you. And no, I didn't. I paid for it out of my own pocket. Nobody sent it to me. FYI. Alright. Thanks for coming, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.